Well, we're so fortunate today to have Ron Bishop, a well-known name around this campus. Went to school here, done a great job as a basketball coach, and now he's president of Score International, which is a big thing, doing a great work, and we appreciate you being here with us today.
Well, it's good to be here today, Curtis. It's always a joy to be with you and DYN, and good to be here in Chattanooga.
Now, tell me about your background.
I first came to Chattanooga in 1963 as a student. I was 18 years old. I came here as a student at the college, and I played college basketball on the basketball team for 4 years. And then after I graduated, I stayed on for 4 more years to work on my master's degree in a seminary. And while I was working on a master's degree, I was an assistant coach to Bruce Foster, who was a coach at that time. And then after those 4 years, I went down to Alabama 2 years and pastored a church. And then Bruce resigned from head coach, and they called me and asked me if I'd be interested in applying for the job. And I applied for the job as a head coach. So at the age of 29, I came back to Chattanooga and became the head basketball coach for 10 years. And about when I was 40 years old, I'd been on a mission trip when I was 18. And that's the reason why I ended up in Chattanooga, because on that trip, God called me to preach. And my uncle told me that this would be a good place. Chattanooga and Tennessee Temple would be a good place to study for the ministry. So I came, I went on that mission trip and came here as a student. And then after being on that mission trip, it really spoke to my heart. And so in 1985, I started Score International to take young people on mission trips and pray that the same thing would happen to them that happened to me. And God really has blessed through the years. I've been 28 years now with Score International. It's the name of the organization. And we started out we took 15 young people the first year on a mission trip, and last year we took over 6,000. So it's really grown, and it's located here in Chattanooga, and a lot of people in Chattanooga don't know about it, but we take hundreds and hundreds of young people from Hamilton County on our mission trips every year.
And where do you go on those mission trips?
Well, primarily we go to Dominican Republic, which is where we own property and own facilities and own a hotel, and we have orphanages there. We have dental medical clinic. We have a baseball complex, a camp. And so Dominican is really our base overseas, but we also own property and take a lot of people to Costa Rica. And we go to Panama with groups. We be going to Brazil with groups. We're going to Portugal this summer with groups. We'll also take groups into Cuba. So we're probably in about 10 different countries, mostly in the Caribbean and somewhere in this hemisphere.
Now, when you say you take 6,000, how do you pay for that, Ron?
Yeah, all the young people raise their funds to go on the trip individually, and in some cases we take senior class trips, which will be anywhere from 15 to 30 people, and they raise their money individually, and then we take church groups, and they raise their money as a group from the church. But Score International is supported by a number of churches across America, as well as individuals, business people, folks who see what we do, experience what we do. And in many cases, they go on the trips, and once they go, they get a feel for what we're doing, and they come back and they support. So we got a pretty good support group out there.
So you started from scratch, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And where'd you start here in Chattanooga?
Started in Chattanooga, and I lived at the time in Ringgold, and so we started Score International in the basement of our home down in Ringgold.
So that was what year?
That was 1985.
So you've been a long way since then. It's grown and grown and grown, hasn't it?
It keeps growing.
The Lord has really blessed you, hasn't he?
He really has. You know, we probably got about 200 workers. We got about a $6 million annual budget, and we've been debt-free from day one. We continue to operate without debt. We got millions of dollars in assets overseas mostly. And then just recently we bought a new facility out in East Ridge on the other side of Interstate 24. It's our headquarters, and it's just been amazing what God's done.
It's a great place for you.
It really is.
Easy to find, easy to explain to people from out of town how to get there. Just get off the interstate on Germantown, turn right.
Yep.
Well, I was sure happy to see it. I was over there, to deliver you the letter. You wasn't there, but it's just a beautiful place. A lot of parking.
Mm-hmm. It serves our needs, and we got some when we bought the place. They had a couple of basketball goals outside, and we got kids that'll come into our parking lot and play basketball on the goals, and I think it's really good. East Ridge has been a good place for us to headquarter our ministry. Mm-hmm. We've enjoyed the city, and everybody's been good to us out there.
Well, what we need is a couple of good stories in the newspaper about you. A lot of people wouldn't know what's happening, but I've heard you tell a story, and I've been to your banquets and all. You got a great organization. How you talk about 200 employees?
Boy, I tell you what, we probably got that many just in Dominican, but we in Chattanooga, we probably have about 12 people working for us here, and we got employees and everything, missionaries and everything. We probably got about 200 in Dominican Republic. Maybe we got 28 to 30 employees and missionaries down in Costa Rica. Only one couple in Panama, and then one couple in Brazil, and we're going to have 4 couples in Honduras. It's our newest area that we're going into. And we to be honest, I really don't know how many people we have. It keeps growing. We hired or took on 8 new missionaries just in the last 2 weeks. So it just continues to grow. It's way beyond me. People who know me and knew me as a coach and living in Chattanooga say, we know it's God because we know you. We know you couldn't have done this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you had a great Christian start here at Temple University, didn't you?
I really did. I owe so much to Tennessee Temple. Met my wife here, and my daughters went to the high school here when it was in existence. Dr. Robertson was my hero.
Yeah.
And Bruce Foster, who was my college coach, he was like a spiritual mentor. Most everything in my life I owe to the goodness of God and His blessings upon my life, and I would just say Tennessee Temple. I mean, it gave me the foundation. When I was here, there was about 3,000 students. When I left here, there was about 4,000 students. We had a great time. It was absolutely awesome. And Tennessee Temple, Highland Park Baptist Church, gave a great foundation for what I'm doing today.